This is Trey.
Hello.
Trey is an old friend of mine, and he's a magician and a cardist. A cardist is a person that performs cardistry, or the performance art of card flourishing. For this video, I've invited Trey to take a look at 3 different decks at 3 different price points. The bicycle being at $3, the Jack deck being at $10, and the Gold Monarchs being at a whopping $500. Well, sort of. Trey spent too much money and they go for $100 now. He was very sad to hear that. What are 3 things you want to look for in a card deck?
The finish, the consistency, and the cut.
So now that we know that, let's go on to our first deck, the Red Bicycle deck.
Bicycles are consistent, reliable, cheap, find them anywhere, and they're very trusted because most people already own them. The only con I would say is they're not terribly exciting.
Next up are Jack.
Something I really like about the Jacks is the color and the kind of metallic shine. The finish is great and they move phenomenally as compared to like cheaper decks like the bikes. Something that's not great is your audience might lose trust in them just because they're not necessarily a brand they recognize, but that's mainly for Magic.
And finally, the Gold Monarchs.
So Monarch playing cards by Theory 11 are my favorite cards that are out there right now. These particular ones aren't the regular ones. They're gold Monarchs, which you can't get anymore. They made a limited run of them, and this is one of them. I paid a lot of money for this. I paid about $500 for this deck. I don't think it was worth it. I think they're really pretty, but I would not pay this much money for a deck of cards again.
So which of these decks are worth the price?
So out of these 3, I would have to say that the Jack is probably the most worth it. It's really pretty. You get a lot of value. The cards spread really well. The finish is awesome. They're the prettiest ones that I'd feel comfortable leaving the house with. These aesthetically are my favorite, but due to the price point, I don't leave the house with them. Realistically, the most value you're ever going to get out of any playing cards is the bicycles. So out of these 3, the prettiest that you're going to use is the Jacks. The prettiest that you're not going to use is the Monarchs. And the ones that you're going to go through 50 decks of just learning how to do 5 different moves are the bikes.
Thank you so much for joining us, Trey. Where can someone go if they wanted to learn about Magic or cardistry?
Well, starting Cardistry and Magic is just, YouTube is absolutely a gold mine. There's a ton of stuff you can get there for free. You don't have to spend $1. And realistically, books are such a treasure trove of old ideas that people don't do anymore, and you can adapt them and learn them and make them better. And a lot of the magician foolers that I do come out of books.